This Tucker Carlson versus Ben Shapiro beef is getting way bigger than anyone could have ever thought. Of course, Tucker Carlson said some controversial things, as Tucker Carlson does on the Joe Rogan Experience, but never did I think it was going to get this big. There are so many huge names saying their opinions on this, from Patrick Bet-David to Joe Rogan to Russell Brand to so many other people. So let's just get right into it. For those of you who don't know what's going on or aren't completely caught up, here's a quick rundown of the situation. A little over a week ago, Tucker Carlson appeared on Joe Rogan's podcast, the Joe Rogan Experience, number 2138. In this conversation, they said a lot of quote-unquote controversial stuff. However, there was one clip that ignited the whole beef. Roll it.
Well, I love, by the way, that people on my side, I'll just admit it, on the right, have spent the last 80 years defending dropping nuclear weapons on civilians. Like, are you joking? And if you find yourself arguing that it's a good thing to drop nuclear weapons on people, then you are evil. With that in mind, like, why would you want nuclear weapons? It's like just a mindless, childish sort of intellectual exercise to justify, like, oh no, it's really good because someone else got it. How about no? How about like spending all of your effort to prevent this from happening?
Yes, everybody, that is the clip that is setting the whole internet on fire right now. Before we go any further, what are your thoughts on the clip? Personally, I didn't disagree with anything Tucker Carlson said. Simple as that. So now we have seen the spark that created the controversy. But what about the fuel? The thing that ignited the spark? Well, to put it bluntly, Ben Shapiro didn't agree with Tucker Carlson at all. Ben Shapiro took to his YouTube channel to respond to this clip from the Joe Rogan podcast. He posted a video titled, "Tucker says America is, in quotes, evil for dropping the A-bomb. He's wrong." Ben waging war instantly on Tucker with that title. So let's take a look into what he said. Roll it.
Why are we talking about how many lives it would save? It's just wrong to drop the bomb. Well, no, actually, if you end up saving more lives than are cost by the dropping of the atomic bomb, then it is morally justified to drop the atomic bomb, and that happens to be the reality of the situation.
The comment section under the video seems surprisingly split right down the middle. Also, something I wanted to point out, which is pretty obvious but important, is that people don't seem to have any middle ground on the controversy. It's either Ben or Tucker, no in between. While I understand it's not necessarily a topic where you could be in the middle, I just found it surprising how fast people pick sides from Tucker to Ben, even though a lot of people liked both of them. So with that being said, let's get right into the reactions from other big names. Russell Brand was one of the people that commented on the situation. He took to his YouTube channel and posted a video called, "Whoa, Tucker vs. Shapiro just escalated." And in that video, he said this.
I'm well aware that the British caused unimaginable incendiary damage to Dresden because of what was a retaliatory strike rather than a military one, and I believe that that was also wrong. When you're discussing principles, I suppose, from a truly ethical position, you wouldn't need to know the character or nature of the individual. The principle would apply whether it was Britain bombing Dresden or America bombing Hiroshima or Russia bombing Ukraine. You would just say, well, I'm against that. It doesn't matter. I don't need to know which nations or individuals are involved. I have a principle around that.
Next, let's look at what Patrick Bet-David said. Now this one starts a beef within a beef. Jeremy Boring, the CEO of the Daily Wire, the show that Ben Shapiro co-founded, tweeted this. "People who deny the moon landing or suggest America is evil for its use of atomic weapons against Imperial Japan, or who say that George Bush was behind 9/11, actually hate this country." Right off the bat, this tweet sounded a little sketchy. And because of that, Patrick Bet-David called him out by saying this. "Jeremy, isn't the entire premise of being a critical thinker to question things? Some of the best podcasters and influencers are those who ask questions no one else is asking. Being quote-unquote anti-establishment is to question the establishment's motive. No?" Jeremy then responded with this. "It is not critical thinking to say that America never landed on the moon or that George W. Bush orchestrated the 9/11 attacks. It is a rejection of critical thinking." To which Patrick Bet-David replied by saying, "I understand your point. However, I am not a Christian because I broke bread with Jesus. I've never met him face to face. That requires a level of faith I'm willing to risk taking. But it also takes faith to believe that we landed on the moon or someone's involvement in the 9/11 attacks. Having that level of unwavering faith in the US government is what I'm not willing to risk. History does not favor blind faith in any government. Very interesting from both of them. I personally 100% agree with BPD. Having a lot of faith in the government has proven to fail time after time. It's that simple for me. And because of that, I think we need to be more skeptical and question just about everything nowadays. I feel like more than ever right now, so many things have hidden motives and agendas that we just need to be aware of. However, I know all of you have been waiting for someone's response in particular, Joe Rogan's. I'm not going to beat around the bush at all. Joe Rogan released a podcast with Bart Sibrel, and in that podcast, he said this about Tucker. Roll it.
There's the moon landing. And the moon landing, and then there's Nixon, getting Nixon removed from the White House, which I didn't know was a giant government operation too. Tucker Carlson laid that all out, and I was like, what? And then I read a bunch about it. What he's saying is totally true. It seems to a lot of people that by calling the moon landing fake, you're discounting that amazing accomplishment from humans. What I want people to do is to say, what did they tell the truth about?
Now, Joe Rogan didn't directly talk about the specific clip. However, he did talk about the moon landing, which the Daily Wire CEO, Jeremy Boring, brought up, and other things in which we should not be trusting our government fully on. Joe Rogan seems to be taking the side of Tucker by basically saying, hey, we need to be more skeptical about the government. They have done things before in which they didn't tell the truth or even tell us at all. While on the other side, Ben and Jeremy seem to be putting a lot of faith in the government telling us the truth and telling us what's going on. What do you guys think though? Are you on the side of Joe Rogan and Tucker Carlson, or are you on the side of Ben Shapiro? Let me know down below and let me know why you think that. I would love to hear your thoughts on the topic, no matter what side you are on. So that is all the news we have for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe as it helps out the channel more than you would ever know. And as always, let me know your thoughts on any of the topics we discussed today. This is a crazy, crazy, crazy topic, so I would love to hear them. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching and enjoy the rest of your day.